When we work with data tables, we have the option to know which records were selected in a data table. One of the outputs is the selected rows. But how do we know which rows were not selected? That's the opposite of selected, the unselected. For example, if I want the list of selected rows, the data table is going to give me that. But if I need these three, like Avi and Siddhartha and Jake, the ones that were not selected, like this. So I need just to retrieve these three that were not selected. How do we do that? Let's look. I'm using a get element to get a list of contacts. Just any bunch of contacts. I'm just retrieving ID and name, a bunch of contacts. And then I'm displaying this list of contacts in a data table, allowing the user to select multiple. And then I'm just displaying the contact ID and the full name. And then this is when we start filtering out the ones that were selected. First, I'm going to grab the selected contact IDs. And I will use the transform element to do that. Let's look at the output first. The output is a text collection variable. What we're doing is we're grabbing the IDs of the selected contacts into a text collection variable. So the source data is the data table contacts from the screen. And then this is giving me an output of one of these two, is either the first selected row or the selected rows. I'm selecting rows, and then in that collection of rows, I'm passing the ID into that text collection variable. What this is going to do is it's like a loop. It goes through that list, takes the ID, puts it into the collection, then goes to the second record, takes the ID, adds it to the collection, third record, adds it to the collection, and so on. So a transform element is like a combination of loop and assignments. Now that we have the list of selected contacts, I'm naming it selected contacts IDs. And then I'm then going to loop through the list of contacts that we got earlier. I wish we had the option to use the filter element instead with an in operator, but that doesn't exist yet. We don't have access to the like what I wanted to do is to go to that list of contacts that we got earlier, and I need to filter down all the contacts that are not in. So there is an operator in and not in, which doesn't exist yet. I assume we're going to have this at some point in the future. For now, we're going to use a loop instead. I am looping through the list of contacts, all contacts, and then I'm going to exclude the ones that were selected. I'm adding a decision element on each one of those iterations to check. Is the current item in the loop, the ID over the current item in the loop, the current contact, is it already in the selected contact IDs collection? If it is, then we don't do anything. If it's not, meaning it was not selected, then I am adding it to a new collection variable called record collection variable unselected contacts. I am adding the entire contact ID in the current iteration. So again, looping through all contacts, finding out if the current contact in the loop is in the selected contact collection, ID collection. If it's not, then I am adding it to a new collection called unselected contacts. And then in the very last screen, I am displaying that unselected contacts collection into another data table just for the purposes of seeing this. Debugging again. Let's select everything and then just leave Rosie and Sean. And then this is Rosie and Sean.